Hello, everyone, and welcome to Immigration Live with Lee. I'm your host, Attorney Lee Marvin, and today is a special edition because today is Memorial Day, which is Monday, May 26th of 2025. So thank you for joining me. And as I say every week, please, in the comment section, not only list your questions so I can answer them, but also tell me where you're joining from. Okay, so city, country, state, wherever. I would truly love to know who you are and where you're joining me from. So post your questions. I'm going to go through immigration questions. I mean, there's always a little bit of everything, just processes. Politics is always in there. So please don't be shy. And if you put your questions in there in the beginning, I have a better chance of answering them because for the end of the program, that's usually when everybody's posting their questions. So post it as soon as you can. I will answer it. You don't have to ask for permission to post it. Just go ahead and post it, okay? So thank you for joining on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And thank you for those of you who are already joining us during your holiday. So I sincerely appreciate it very much. So immigration, there's a lot going on as always. And I had a series of questions that I had prepared so I could provide you guys answers to some of the questions I got earlier from my YouTube channel. So Elna, hello, greetings from Montana. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for joining us. I don't know what time it is in Montana. I think you're Mountain Time, so that's probably 2 hours behind us. So it's probably about 6 o'clock there. Anyway, welcome and thank you for joining. Okay, let's see here. So some of the questions that I had from earlier. Okay. So this was a question that I got from earlier. I have a green card. I've had it for 43 years. And I had problems 20 years ago, but my case was forgiven, the criminal case. I was given a misdemeanor for it. And I've traveled back and forth, came back in March of 2025 and had no issues. Okay, so that question or that comment rather was in response to a video I did about people, green card holders leaving the country and returning and all this hype in the media about how many of these people have problems re-entering the United States. So that individual reported that they didn't experience any problems, and that was in March of this year. So that's what that one was about. Okay, so, and again, please post your questions. It's much better to have live questions. So those of you who are taking your time out of your day have the ability to have questions answered by me. So please go ahead and post them. And a lot of these questions are still related to traveling internationally. Is it advisable to travel internationally as a green card holder, even with no criminal background, considering the current situation at the airports? And my answer to that is yes, absolutely. It is safe to travel. If you haven't had a criminal problem in the past and you don't have immigration issues, you have nothing to worry about, okay? Politics aside, if the government doesn't have a reason to reject you, they're not going to do it, right? Despite what you see in the media, that's just not how it works, okay? And let's see, I have some followers on Instagram, on YouTube that are asking questions. So I want to answer, let's put this one up. Okay, this is from Marshall. You're in Chicago. Thank you for joining us in Chicago. Just about a 3-hour drive from Grand Rapids, which is where I am. My case has been accepted exactly 2 years ago. You petitioned for the I-130 and the I-4085. It's now outside of normal processing time, which is currently 22 and a half months in Chicago. A crazy amount of time. So 22 and a half months, that's 2 years for my math. Well, almost 2 years. Should I call USCIS? Okay. So Marshall, if you're on my YouTube channel, you may or may not have already seen the video where I teach you all how to access the processing times, okay? If not, check that out. Check out that video, because you can go onto the USCIS website and you can actually put in your information, the priority date for what you receive for the I-130, and they will tell you if you're beyond that period of time. It's one thing being beyond that period of time. It's another being beyond the period of time that the government says that you're permitted to contact them. So to answer your question, should I call? Yes, only if USCIS tells you that you have the right to call them. Because if you don't, they're just not going to answer your questions. They're going to blow you off and say, well, go to our website. We'll tell you when you can contact us. So check it out first and then call if you are indeed beyond that point of time and they tell you that you can reach out to them. Okay. So Marshall, if you have more questions about that, let me put a link here if you do need to reach out to me to talk directly to me. Okay, so 1 second here, and I'm going to post it on all my social media here. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to put on Instagram. A lot of good people on Instagram joining. Okay, so the next question is from Tito. Tito's from Hammond, New Jersey. Thank you for joining us from New Jersey. What is the processing time for the I-601? Again, Tito, since you're on my YouTube channel, check out my last video. I think last week I posted a video about processing times. It's a short, so it's just like 60 seconds. So check that out. I don't know off the top of my head what that time is, but check out that video and you can get the answer to that. It's still probably about 1.5 to 2 years before that is going to be approved. The 601s definitely take longer, okay? So check that out because I just don't remember, okay? Okay, so the next question is from Cash27. Okay, question. My husband and I were married after he filed for asylum. We want to file for I-130, but can I concurrently file 485 with a pending asylum with the immigration court? Cash. That is a very good question. Very technical. And that's typically one where I say, check out my link where you can talk to me directly, because there's several questions that I would like to ask you to find out what's going on with that to see if you are able to do that, okay? So I will say there are times it can go both ways. Sometimes the immigration court says, no, we are going to retain jurisdiction over your deportation and asylum. We're not going to allow you to adjust status, okay? And others say, hey, if you have the ability to adjust, we will allow you to do that while you're pending your process. It really depends. So that information that I would like to find out from you will help you decide how to move forward, okay? So the link is above. So just look up in the comment section. At the bottom of your screen, as you notice, is a phone number. You can call that. And then my webpage, marvinlawoffice.com. So those are the ways you can reach me. Anyone can reach me, or use the link that I already put in the chat, okay? So Elna is asking, okay, a friend just traveled with advanced parole internationally 2 times this year without any problems. Okay, thank you, Elna. So again, in response to what I was saying at the beginning when I first opened tonight, was about international travel. A lot of people are worried about advanced parole, and I've done videos about that too. Advanced parole is something that I've always said was safe. It's safe until it's not, right? There's no reason to assume that it's not going to work out. And Elna is reporting that her friend did it twice this year, okay? So it is something that you can do, you have the right to do, and if you do it the right way, you generally are not going to have any problems. So thank you, Elna, for that. I appreciate that. Here's my link. Okay, so Catch 27 it's not above, it's below. As you can see, it's a couple posts after yours. Okay. Okay, let me go over see if any of our friends on Instagram are posting questions. No, we just have a lot of people joining us from Instagram. No questions yet. So Instagram, you have questions, please post it in the comment section so I can get to you. In the meantime, I'll go over to YouTube and keep answering those questions. Okay. So let's see. Omar, what does Omar have to say? Hello, Attorney Lee. Hello. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. And I am doing well. Thank you on this Memorial Day. Thank you for everyone who served and who family members who have died during the service of the, to the military and to this country. I appreciate it very much. I should have said that in the beginning, but at least I still said it, right? Okay, so Omar's asking, do you have any idea regarding the most current wait times for the I-129F application? My fiance and I are our application January of this year. Again, Omar, if you heard what I said about the processing times video that I recorded not too long ago, go to my channel, which you're already joining me from. In the search, look up processing times. Again, it was a short that I did just this past week for the 129F, the fiance visa, K1 visa. That's another way of describing it. And you can get that information through that video. Okay. Again, Omar, if you have questions, you can click the link to book a time to talk to me. I will say that off the top of my head, it's typically about 10 months to a year is very common. It can go as long as 15 months. That's not uncommon. It depends on a number of things. It depends in where your fiance is joining us from. It depends on a number of different things. So check out that video. And if you still have questions, you can reach me directly. Okay. Thank you for the question and for joining. Okay. So here's a question from Plums. Do you think they're going to cancel TPS? Well, they've already canceled TPS for some countries. So Plums, I guess I would ask you what country specifically you're wondering about, because the answer is yes, right? So Venezuela, there's no TPS or anything anymore with Venezuela. I think the same is true with Haiti. So it depends on what country. This administration is tightening things up quite a bit and discontinuing a number of these programs that President Trump and his administration believes is no longer necessary, because the conditions that existed at the time that the TPS was created for whatever country might no longer exist, right? So the whole point of TPS is it was supposed to be temporary while these storm-torn countries recover. Many of these countries are much better than they were before all these storms that happened, a decade or so ago. So I do suspect that a number of these TPS countries will no longer have that protection or that benefit. So, but again, it depends what country you're talking about, okay? So stand by for that, because that is an ongoing challenge. This administration is definitely going to try it. And most likely they will be sued over it, right? But the Trump administration has won a number of very important victories in federal court and the Supreme Court over certain issues. So it's kind of up in the air, as it was in the first Trump administration. There's a lot of people suing him before. So there's a lot of back and forth. It changes from time to time, which is why you all should join every Monday so that I can give you any updates that I have. So, okay, so that's that. Okay, so we've got one of our friends that we love joining us. This is Mr. Caddy, Mr. Grinch, Mr. C. I know him many different names. So thank you for joining us again. Happy Memorial today. Happy Memorial Day to all who serve. So thank you kindly for that. Appreciate it very much. And are you in Nashville or are you in Costa Rica? Always wonder. So, but thank you kindly. Appreciate it very much. Okay, so let me go over to Instagram, see if we have any questions. Yes, we've got a question here. Sekiyeu, apologize for the pronunciation. Any changes for 2-year green card holders through marriage, change of status? No. So that process has been pretty consistent. Processing times always kind of fluctuate. But the good thing is about somebody who is removing the conditions on their conditional green card is that they automatically grant you or extend your status until you are able to get those conditions removed. So you're not at risk of anything expiring, of losing the ability to work or anything like that. So again, I will ask you, you're joining us on Instagram, so I will invite you to go to my YouTube channel and do a search about a video about the changes or temporary, the process and how long it takes and removal conditions. Type that in there and you might find more information in there about that. And again, if you need to talk to me directly, I've got a link that I already posted in the chat. So you can always use that link or the information at the bottom of your screen to reach out to me directly, okay? Okay, so let me go back to my friends on YouTube, okay? Okay, 1 second. Whoops. Okay, so here's a question from, let's see. Here's a question from our Keys Board Ministry channel. Okay, sir, what is the purpose of the N470 form? Okay, so when you are moving from green card to naturalized citizen, there's certain things that you have to do to show that you have maintained your legal permanent residency and you've not violated things. Therefore, you're permitted to move forward with the naturalization. People in ministry have a very different situation than most green card holders, okay? What does that mean? It means if you have to travel internationally for longer periods of time, because remember, as a legal resident, you're obligated to live in the United States. You cannot travel outside the country for more than 6 months at a time, okay? Or you can jeopardize not only your green card, but the future, which is naturalization. So as in the ministry, if you're traveling all over doing your ministry work, chances are good that you're going to be gone for more time than you're supposed to. So the N470 is basically a form that you have to file to get advance permission to be able to leave the country for a longer period of time. And the government will not hold that additional time outside the country against you, okay? It's a very, very powerful tool for people in ministry to show that they're not abandoning their green card because they're doing, God's work. And we want to reward people who do that. So that is what that is, sir. So if you have questions, you can reach out to me directly because I've helped people with this process, and I would be happy to provide more guidance to you or anyone within your ministry. Okay, so thank you kindly for that question. Okay, so next question. Okay, from Yemi. Hello, have an I-140 approved. Means green card, it's secured. Okay. So, right. Okay, so sorry, Yemi, to tell you this, but my focus is on family-based immigration, not employment-based. So I used to dabble in that in the past. I no longer do that. So I do not have the ability to answer your question about employment-based green cards, okay? Because honestly, even if I could, I'm still trying to understand your question. Oh, okay. You're saying, okay, if you have an I-140 approved, it means your green card is secure, right? That's what you're asking. So again, I don't know, EB3 skilled work, your nurse. So, honestly, you need to ask your employer that question, because there's things that employers have to do in order to make that a reality. So nothing is automatic, but again, I don't do the employment base, so I wouldn't want to give you a complete answer on that. Just a nudge in the right direction, okay? So, but thank you for your question, for joining, okay? Okay, so question from 333. Can I file K1 for my fiance and petition my daughter, or is having two cases not allowed? Okay, so 333. So the answer is yes. You can do multiple processes. There's no penalty. As long as you can show the income requirements for these things, as long as you show that you make sufficient income to support these processes, you absolutely can. So there's no limit to how many different family members or future family members. Congratulations, by the way, with your, fiance. As long as you can show that you can support them, you can file multiple processes. Okay. If you have questions more specifically about the fiance visa or your daughter's process, and I can help, I'm going to post this again. The link is up in the chat to reach me directly, but I will post it here again just so you don't have to go searching for it. And I can help you figure out what needs to happen. Okay. So reach out if you need more guidance. Okay. Okay, so Olga is joining us from San Francisco, I believe. There's a set of common questions, but some nuance rather unique. I'm wondering about the consultation process, and it's more suitable for privacy concerns. Olga, totally get it. You see, I just posted the link again. Yes, I agree. This Monday night live with Lee is great for people that have general questions. But if you have private stuff you want help with, yeah, don't post your questions. Click the link and book a time to talk to me directly. I'd be happy to do that. And again, that link is up there, or at the bottom of your screen is the phone number and the web address. The link is the best, but that's how you get in touch with me, Olga. Thank you for the question, for joining. Let me go to the next. Is our friend King Power, who has been joining us for quite a while too. So thank you, King Power, for joining us. I discovered that we omitted the date of birth of my child from the, excuse me, prior marriage. One second. On your wrong pipe. Your prior marriage for on the 485. Do I raise it for it to be corrected during the interview, or wait for the interviewer to raise it? If you can understand me, there's no harm either way. You can say, hey, oh man, you know what? I noticed in preparing for this interview, date of birth was omitted. I will tell you, that is the approach that I would recommend, because it shows that you're proactive, and it shows that you're being transparent with the agent, and they like that kind of stuff. So King Power, bring it up. It's either way, it's not going to harm you, but you get a few brownie points to the agent who doesn't have to bring it up to you. So yeah, I'd bring it up and mention it to them. So good luck with your interview. If you have additional questions, as you know, because you've joined me for quite a while, that you can book a time to talk to me directly. Okay. All right. So let me continue with this. We've got Peace on Earth. Hi. If you get a green card using the 212H waiver for crime involving moral turpitude, CIMT, that was not an aggravated felony, thank God, before the green card was issued by USCIS, can they try to remove the specific crime that was waived? No, that's the beauty of a waiver, okay? If they granted your waiver request and they basically cleared the air, right? They eliminated, you don't eliminate it, but if they decided that even though you did it, they're willing to waive it, then it's waived. So you should be able to move forward with a green card. Be very careful when it comes to naturalization, though, because that's not always true. Naturalization, they treat things very differently through that process. So if you have additional questions, peace on earth, reach out to me directly, okay? Okay, let's see. Okay, so let me go to Instagram. I'm bouncing back and forth here a bit. Nothing new here. Instagram, if you have questions, please post them in the comment section, okay? Got tons of great questions on YouTube, though, so I'm going to keep rolling with YouTube. Okay. Okay, this a follow-up from Omar. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate your response. I appreciate your appreciation. Okay. Happy Memorial Day to you too. Thank you. I will watch your recent update about my question. Okay, that's great. And again, if you have questions beyond that, you can always reach me directly. So thank you for that, Omar, and good luck to you if I don't talk to you. And have a nice Memorial Day. Okay, so my good friend, Mr. Grinch, is in Nashville. So Nashville, what a great city. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I know my Armenia, I believe you joined us in the past, but thank you for joining us again tonight, okay? Maybe you didn't. Maybe somebody with a similar handle. But anyway, thank you for joining, okay? Let's see here. Okay. Here's a question. Peace on Earth is asking follow. If you obtain a green card using, didn't I answer that? I did. I'm sorry. I was going to answer it a second time. But Peace on Earth, again, you really wanted the question answered, which is why you paid a little bit extra to get an answer. Hopefully you're good. If not, you can reach me directly by using that link that I provided. So thank you for hanging with me. Okay, so here's an interesting question from Maya Armenia. Does USCIS call an interview after I-130 and I-485 was approved? Well, you can't get an approved I-485 for the most part without an interview. Certain types of relationships, they waive the interview. Like if it's a child to a parent, sometimes a parent to a child, they might not require the interview. And yeah, I guess it's theoretical that they can approve it. But if you do indeed have approval, that means you have a green card. So there will be no interview if you already got an approved I-485 and you got your green card. So you're good. You might be one of the select people that don't have to go to the interview. If that's the case, bravo to you, okay? Okay. Josue, I have TPS from Venezuela 2023, and I have my DMV appointment tomorrow. I think that's for your license, I'm assuming. Department of Motor Vehicles. In Michigan, we call it Secretary of State, but whatever. Even though the Supreme Court announced, but I did the registration in January before all this madness. Do you believe I can renew my license? Josue, it depends where you are. Some states, some jurisdictions are on top of things because they, even though they're state-based, some people want to try to help the federal government make things more difficult for certain type of immigrants. Okay. So it depends where you're joining from. And if you're in an area where, local jurisdictions have a tendency to make it harder for immigrants, they may not renew it. Okay. But it should not be an issue. Okay. Because again, this stuff is very, very much in the news, but most people just do their jobs and they're not trying to do the federal government's job. So that's a tough question. So I guess you just try it and see what happens. I mean, there's no harm in trying. The most they can do is say, you know what, we're not going to approve it because we're paying attention to the news and we're just not going to do it. So good luck to you. Okay. So, yes, and Peace on Earth is asking a follow-up here. Can you get Peace on Earth? Just a second. Your question is here. Can you get the immigration judge to terminate if they do? I got to go back up and refresh my memory about your question. Okay. And it was, if you obtain a green card using the waiver, can they use waive crime? Can they still come after you? So Peace on Earth, this is now a more complicated question. So we may need to talk, okay? Because yeah, it depends on if you're just dealing with USCIS or if now you're dealing with the immigration judge, we probably need to talk. So book a time to talk to me, okay? So I can help you figure out the answer to that, because there's just too many things to find the answer for right now. So it's better suited for a direct conversation, okay? Jose, let's go to you. I went to my interview about a month ago and I'm still waiting. Should I be nervous? Well, first thing I'll say, Jose, is it depends what your interview was for and where it was, okay? I had a DUI 20 years ago. You've been in the country since 89, came here when you're 14. So, Jose, I will say, again, it depends what process you're talking about. If you're specifically talking about, so you have two questions. One is about, should you be nervous because it's taken longer? The other is DUI 20 years ago. Typically, a DUI doesn't terminate someone's ability to move forward. So I wouldn't necessarily be nervous about that, but that could account for the delay a little bit. Maybe they're looking more into it to make sure that there's not more to the story. So it depends. I will tell you, you might want to book a time with me too. Is in part because I need more information. The other is because I actually went over my allotted time by about 5 minutes because I'm having such a good time and I appreciate everyone joining. So yeah, Josue, joining from Florida. You're welcome. My pleasure. And Jose was joining us from Chicago, Citizenship. Okay. Again, thank you, everyone. Please join me next week on Monday at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is Detroit time. Please join me so I can help you answer your questions. Book a time with me. If you have all these wonderful questions, very important questions, book a time to talk to me, okay? Reach out to me. I would love to help you with your process because I always say, stay informed and stay safe. So thank you, everyone. Have a very nice rest of your memorial, and I'll see you next week. Bye.